Hello guys and welcome back. It's the return of the Carabao Cup predictions. The Carabao Cup competition returns this midweek and we've got 8 predictions to bring to you for places in the quarter-finals. I'm joined by Sophie. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you. And I'm thinking for the like target, let's go for 2,100 likes on this one.
Hey, that is doable. Isn't it? That is doable. Yeah. We've got plenty of Premier League and Championship teams left. Let's get your great support on board. Hit that like button. And once again, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I want to say a massive thank you for 80,000 subscribers. That is amazing, isn't it?
That is, so thank you.
And that is down to you guys. So make sure to get involved. Not many channels do Carabao Cup predictions. I mean, probably some of them don't see the point. But let's get into the game, Sophie. And we start with a Premier League team versus a Championship team. It's Southampton versus Stoke City. Now, Southampton lost again at the weekend in the Premier League, but losing away at Man City 1-0.
It's not a bad result.
That's their best result of the season.
Just 1-0 away to Man City, especially after conceding so early on. I know it's a loss, but it's not a bad result.
Yeah, I'm chuffed for you, the Southampton fans. Yeah. No, I'm not trying to be patronising. Let's actually take the positives from that. I think they're going to win this game. Stoke City come here on the back of a 2-0 loss to Sheffield United. And while Southampton are not having the best season in the Premier League so far, maybe a nice distraction would be a cup run. I'm going to go for Southampton, 3-1.
Oh, okay. I'm going to say 2-0 Southampton, which I think having a clean sheet would do the team the world of good, but also just getting the win would be amazing because it's been a really, really tough season so far for Southampton players, the manager and the fans. And then they're coming up against Stoke, who at times they play some nice football. I don't know if they're going to go all out in this game. I don't think they're going to put out that weak a squad, but I still fancy Southampton to do it regardless. So 2-0.
Yeah, it would be nice to see Stoke City win this, given that out of the 16 teams left, 13 are from the Premier League and 3 are from the Championship, and we've got none from League 1 and League 2. It'd be nice to have a little bit of variety in the next round, but we're both going for the favourites. On to the next one, Sophie, where Brentford take on Sheffield Wednesday. This could be interesting. Both got decent wins in their leagues at the weekend. Sheffield Wednesday won on the Friday night away at Portsmouth 2-1, and yeah, it's not a bad little run there. I know they didn't do too well against Burnley, and then they had that 0-0 draw against Swansea, but you think before the international break they'd beat Coventry and West Brom. If they could just be a bit more consistent, they might start moving up the table. I don't think it's impossible they could give Brentford a good game. Let's give Brentford credit though, they just keep scoring goals. Yes, once again they didn't score in the first minute against Ipswich, but they won 4-3. It was a crazy game, and look, I don't want to be boring and just keep going for the favourites in today's video. So I'm going to give one of the Championship teams a victory. I'm going to go for Sheffield Wednesday here.
Ooh,
Brentford
like
1, Sheffield Wednesday 2. Let's back the Owls and Danny roll.
I like that. I'd love to see a cup set, but I am going to have to lean towards the favourites. I think Brentford at times have looked really good, bar the Ipswich game where they did look a little bit poor defensively at times and they did get caught out, but ultimately they went on to win that game. They showed real character there. I mean, Sheffield Wednesday as well, they turned it around at Portsmouth, so I'm going to give them a goal, but ultimately I think Brentford will have too much as well, so 3-1 for me.
Oh, 3-1 Brentford.
Yeah, going for the favourites again.
Yep, share your thoughts on that one down in the comments, guys. On to the next one, where it's an all-Premier League matchup as Brighton take on Liverpool, and these two actually play against each other in the Premier League this weekend as well, so they're going to get sick of the sight of each other. As for a prediction, it's hard to say in these competitions because I'm not sure what Slot thinks of this competition. I think they've got a really good chance of doing well in the Champions League and the Premier League this season. They're flying in both. I think they're second in the Premier League and second in the Champions League table. But Brighton are a good team, and I know they drew at the weekend, but they shouldn't have done.
Both teams, it was 2-2, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
they both drew 2-2 at the weekend. I think both teams score. I'm going to go Brighton 1, Liverpool 2.
Yeah, I'm going for the same scoreline. What we saw with Brighton and Liverpool is that both teams didn't play at their best, but ultimately they got a point from both games. I'd say Liverpool were perhaps the more underwhelming, especially first half against Arsenal. I think that's probably the worst they've performed all season. I think Arne Slot would go quite strong in this competition actually, because first season you'd want to win something, wouldn't you? But then ultimately, is this Brighton's best chance at winning something? Yes, so I think both teams are going to go strong. but I am edging Liverpool, and I agree with you, 2-1.
Yeah, both going 2-1 on that one, but wouldn't be all too surprised if Brighton did sneak it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool are hard to predict in these competitions. I mean, Jurgen Klopp did win this competition last year for Liverpool, but sometimes it just play the kids, and I suppose it can still work. On to the next one. It's another all-Premier League matchup as Aston Villa take on Crystal Palace. Fair play to Palace, by the way. They got their first Premier League win on the Sunday. Mateta's goal enough to beat Tottenham, and they climb out of the bottom three. Now comes a game in the Carabao Cup away at Villa, and can Palace build on it, or are their eyes focused on just getting away from trouble in the Premier League? The difficult thing is, Sophie, Villa have also got a lot going on, and do they have the squad to juggle all of this? I think they might do.
I think at the moment they do, don't they?
For sure. I mean, they're top of the Champions League table.
Yeah.
They're flying in the Premier League. They did drop 2 points against Bournemouth in the last minute.
They did, yeah.
But I think they might edge this. I'm going to go Villa 1-0.
I'm going to go 2-1 again. I think Villa have been looking very, very good this season. There are a lot of games, but I think still early on in the season, I do fancy them. I know Crystal Palace got a really good result at the weekend, but before that they haven't been performing that well. So who knows, they could build on their last performance, but right now I'm still going to edge Aston Villa. I'm going for the favourites again, 2-1.
There you go, both back in Villa to progress, and wow, they could have a magical season where we get into, I don't know, 2025 and they've still got a chance of winning everything.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Right, on to the next one. We go to Old Trafford. It's Manchester United versus Leicester City. Both will be disappointed with their results at the weekend. Leicester City, they lost the Steve Cooper derby to Nottingham Forest on the Friday night. What can you do when you come up against Chris Wood, I guess? Manchester United, Sophie, we said last time, I don't see them making any progress, and that showed because they lost to West Ham dramatically late on. There is some question marks over was it a penalty, but either way I don't think Man United did enough to win the game. Maybe could have drawn it, but the thing that's kept Ten Hag in his job, in my opinion, is winning cups. He's won the Carabao Cup, and last year he won the FA Cup. He needs to win this game. I'm going to go Man United 1-0. Hold your horses. There has been a development. Ten Hag has now left Manchester United. Since we recorded this video, he has now left. So, Man United fans, do share your thoughts. I'll still predict 1-0 to United, but that is big news. I've said before, I didn't think they were making any progress under Ten Hag. I still don't know if I fully trust Manchester United to get the next appointment right, because I do think the problems are deep-rooted, but feel free to share your thoughts. Manchester United have got rid of Ten Hag.
I think there could actually be some drama in this game, only in a way that I think it's going to penalties. So I'm going to say 1-1, but then I'm going to back the home side just to pinch it, just because, as you say, Man United do seem to do all right in the cups. We won't talk about them in the league at the moment, but Leicester also lost at the weekend, so both teams coming into this on the back of losses. Yeah, I just fancy Man United to do it, and I think it could be on penalty. So yeah, 1-1, Man United on pens.
It'd be typical, wouldn't it? Man United sneaking through. Like, that's how they did it against Coventry in the FA Cup.
Like, Leicester take the lead, Man United equalise, do it on pens.
They'll be like, not very convincing, but they'll just get through or something.
Do it anyway, yeah.
There you go, we are still back in Man United. On to the next one, Sophie. It is Newcastle versus Chelsea, and these two obviously played on the Sunday. Chelsea did win that game 2-1, but I think the difference in competition could be really important here. I think Newcastle, not being in a European competition this year, should really go for a cup run. I mean, they got to the final of this competition 2 seasons ago. I think they should really go for it. And look, it's not impossible they could beat Chelsea, and they have got the home advantage. I think I'm going to go for a draw, and then I'm going to just go for Newcastle on penalties. I'm going to go 1-1, Newcastle on penalties.
Do you know what? I'm actually going for the same score in the Premier League, but obviously that's at James Park. So I'm going to say 2-1 Chelsea, purely because we know how big Chelsea's squad is, and Maresca is actually doing a really good job, I think, of balancing players' time amongst like different competitions, and he's getting it right at the moment, and you obviously see that because they're not having too many injuries. But even their second squad is very good. They've got a very, very good big squad. So I do think Newcastle are going to go pretty strong and they'll want to get some revenge in this one. But again, I just fancy Chelsea. So 2-1.
2-1 Chelsea. Yeah, it feels like either one of these could be a team to win this competition.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Share your thoughts. On to the next one. A big game for Preston as we go to Deepdale. North End take on Arsenal, Sophie. This is a good occasion for the Preston fans, taking on
Definitely.
Arsenal. And they've got the home advantage. If they win this, they're into the quarterfinals. I'd love to see an upset here, but is it just beyond their capabilities? I mean, Arsenal have had a little bit of a rut by their standards recently, but I still think they should, over 90 minutes, just have enough. I think Preston's best chance is doing what they do best, being cagey, being physical, keeping it 0-0, maybe trying to snatch it 1-0. But I think towards the end, Arsenal might just get this over the line. So I'm going to go Preston 0, Arsenal 2.
Oh, okay. I'm actually going to go for a draw on this one.
Ooh.
What we've seen from Preston so far in the Championship is they play very well as a unit, and I think they're capable of giving Arsenal, who we've just seen them against Liverpool, they've been hit by a few more injuries. They've got a depleted squad at the moment, so you've got to be up for this, as obviously the Preston fans will be, but I think the players as well, being at home to such a big team, obviously the players are going to be up for it, but seeing the amount of injuries Tottenham, I know they've still got some quality even on their bench, but I think they're capable of getting a draw, but I'm not going to say they progress. I'm going to say Arsenal do it on penalties.
Oh, Arsenal.
Yeah, but they're going to take them all the way.
Yeah. So what was the score? 0-0?
No, 1-1.
Oh, 1-1.
Yeah.
There you go. Ooh, okay, there's a bit of a bold shout. You're still backing Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm
you
still
reckon?
backing them to go through, but I think Preston, especially being the home side, are capable of turning up and giving them a good game.
There you go. Right, on to the final game, Sophie. This is a good one. Tottenham Hotspur take on Manchester City. Now, obviously, in the previous round, Tottenham did beat Coventry with 2 stoppage time goals, and that was really heartbreaking for us. But given that they got Man City in the next round, that made me feel a bit better about things.
Yeah, as a Coventry fan, when you look and you think, oh, who could we have got? You'd obviously want weaker opposition than Man City. So,
Well,
I'm not that heartbroken.
I would rather Coventry have got Man City than Preston in the next round, I must say.
Especially at Deepdale, then it's like, well, there's no point going.
That's just a Coventry inside joke. As for this game, Sophie, a lot has been said about Manchester City don't do too well when they go to Tottenham away, but in the FA Cup last year, that changed and they beat them. And then I think they beat them there in the league towards the end of the season as well. So I think that voodoo, what do you call it, has gone. I think Man City are going to win this. I'm going to go for an entertaining game. Tottenham 1, Man City 3.
Oh, okay, do you know what? I'm going to penalties again. I'm saying 1-1. I think Spurs are going to turn up for this one because Man City, despite looking really good, they haven't looked at their best. Equally, you could say the same again for Spurs because, yeah, they didn't look very good at the weekend at all. But I'm going to say Man City progress on penalties. But I think Spurs are capable of pushing them all the way. So, yeah, 1-1, Man City on pens.
1-1 Man City on penalties. We've both gone for quite a few penalty shootouts
We
today.
have. I think that's what we're hoping for, really, isn't it? We like them.
It's the magic of the cup.
Exactly.
The Carabao Cup. Well, that wraps up our predictions, guys. There's only 8 games, so that won't stop you from sharing your predictions down below. It'll take you 2 seconds. We'll have a look at your predictions down in the comments, guys. Please be sure to support us by dropping a like. It takes 2 seconds, and we really do appreciate your support. Make sure you are subscribed to help us now start pushing to 90,000 subscribers, which is unbelievable. And look out for a live stream on Wednesday when we cover the Carabao Cup draw on the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace out.